Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about endocrine system. This class is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture, or you can directly visit to my channel, my student support system. Endocrine system. The endocrine system consists of glands, which are known as endocrine glands. They are widely distributed and separated from each other in our body. These are groups of secretory cells surrounded by extensive network of capillaries that facilitate diffusion of hormones from the secretory cells to the bloodstream. In endocrine system, there are a lot of glands, and this is a vast topic. So we will cover this whole topic of endocrine system in two lectures. In this lecture, today we will discuss about hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid and parathyroid glands. Remaining glands we will discuss in next class. The endocrine glands are also known as ductless glands because they have no ducts to carry their secretions. Hormones diffuse directly into the bloodstream. Hormones are then carried in the bloodstream to the target tissue or organs that may be quite distant from the gland, where they influence the cellular growth and metabolism. What are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers that are secreted into the blood or the extracellular fluid. Here, for example, this is a secretory cell of endocrine gland. Then hormones are secreted here and they are taken up in the capillaries, and in the blood they reach to the target cell or the target organ, and then they do their activities and have effect on functioning of other organ or cell. When a hormone arrives at the target cell, it binds with specific receptors where it acts as a switch influencing chemical or metabolic reactions inside the cell. The receptors for peptide hormones are situated on the cell membrane, and for those lipid-based hormones are situated inside the cells. So first is hypothalamus. Actually, hypothalamus is a part of brain, or we can say it is the connector between brain and our endocrine system. It has a variety of functions. It is very small, approximately 4 gram in the weight, and cone-like structure that is directly connected to the pituitary gland by pituitary stalk. It is an extremely complex part of the brain containing many regions and highly specified functions. So it is here. This is hypothalamus, just above the pituitary gland. One of the most important functions of hypothalamus is to link the nervous system to the endocrine system via the pituitary gland. Almost all the hormones secretion by pituitary gland is controlled either by hormonal or electrical, or we can say nerve signals from the hypothalamus. Hypothalamic hormones reach to the anterior pituitary through a portal system of blood vessels known as hypophyseal portal system. What are the hormones secreted by hypothalamus? There are two sets of hormones released by hypothalamus. One set of hormones reach to the posterior gland and another set reach to the anterior pituitary gland. The hormones which reach to the posterior pituitary gland are antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin. These hormones are produced by hypothalamus while they are released by posterior pituitary. Antidiuretic hormone causes watery absorption in the kidney and oxytocin hormone leads to contraction of uterus during childbirth process, and it also help in breastfeeding process. The other set of hormone, these are known as stimulating and inhibiting hormones and reach to the anterior pituitary. These hormones are number 1, growth hormone releasing hormone GHRH. It stimulates the cells in anterior lobe of pituitary gland to secrete growth hormone. Next is growth hormone release inhibiting hormone GHRIH. It is also known as somatostatin. Somatostatin acts on anterior lobe of pituitary to inhibit the release of growth hormone and inhibit the release of thyroid stimulating hormone as well. Next is thyrotropin releasing hormone TRH. When it reaches to the anterior lobe of pituitary gland, it stimulates release of thyroid stimulating hormone and prolactin. Corticotropin releasing hormone CRH. Its action on cells of anterior pituitary stimulates the release of adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is also known as corticotropin. Next is prolactin releasing hormone PRH. It stimulates anterior lobe of pituitary and stimulates the release of prolactin hormone. Next is prolactin inhibiting hormone PIH. It is also known as dopamine. It inhibits the production of prolactin hormone from anterior pituitary gland. Gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH. GnRH stimulates anterior pituitary to release follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, which work together to ensure normal functioning of ovaries and testes. Now we will discuss the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland, also known as the master gland of our body, as its hormones controls almost all other glands. The pituitary gland lies in the hypophyseal fossa of sphenoid bone below the hypothalamus and is connected to the hypothalamus by a stalk. Here you can see anterior lobe of pituitary, posterior lobe of pituitary. This is hypothalamus and it is attached by a stalk. The pituitary gland is functionally and anatomically divided into two parts, posterior lobe and anterior lobe. The posterior lobe is also known as neurohypophysis, is made up of mostly by nerve fibers and originate in the hypothalamus. The nerve fibers originate in the hypothalamus and terminate in the posterior lobe. Because it is made up of nerve fibers mostly, so it is known as neurohypophysis. The posterior lobe releases two hormones, oxytocin and ADH. These hormones are produced by hypothalamus but released by posterior pituitary. Oxytocin. Oxytocin has an effect on uterine contraction in the childbirth process and is responsible for letdown response in breastfeeding mothers when the milk is secreted in response to suckling of the baby. Next is antidiuretic hormone. The effect of ADH are that it increase the water retention by kidneys by increasing the permeability of collecting ducts in the kidneys. The anterior lobe is known as adenohypophysis, which is made up mostly by secretory cells. The anterior lobe releases following hormones. Number 1, growth hormone. This is the most abundant hormone synthesized by anterior pituitary. It stimulates growth and division of most body cells, but especially those in the bones and skeletal muscles. Body growth in response to the secretion of growth hormone is evident during childhood and adolescence period, and thereafter secretion of growth hormone maintains the mass of the bones and skeletal muscles. It also regulates metabolism of many organs such as liver, intestine, pancreas, etc. Next hormone is thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH. This hormone is synthesized by anterior pituitary and its release is controlled by TRH, thyrotropin releasing hormone, by hypothalamus. It stimulates the growth and activity of thyroid gland, which secretes hormone T3 and T4. T3 is triiodothyronine and T4 thyroxin. Next hormone is ACTH, adenocorticotropic hormone or corticotropin. Corticotropin is corticotropin releasing hormone or CRH from the hypothalamus promotes the synthesis of and release of ACTH by anterior pituitary. This increase in the concentration of cholesterol and steroids within the adrenal cortex and output of steroid hormone, especially cortisol. Prolactin. This hormone is secreted during pregnancy to prepare breasts for lactation after childbirth. The blood level of prolactin is stimulated by prolactin releasing hormone PRH, which is released by hypothalamus and is lowered by prolactin inhibiting hormone, which is also secreted by hypothalamus. Immediately after birth, suckling stimulates the prolactin secretion and lactation. Gonadotropins. Just before puberty, two gonadotropin are secreted in gradually increasing amount by anterior pituitary in response to luteinizing hormone releasing hormone or gonadotropin releasing hormone. These hormones, gonadotropin hormones, are FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone. In females, the ovaries are the target for FSH. Each month, FSH initiate development of several ovarian follicles, which are sac-like arrangement of secretory cells that surround a developing oocyte. FSH also stimulates follicular cells to secrete estrogens, that is known as female sex hormones. In males, FSH stimulates sperm production in testes. Luteinizing hormone. In females, luteinizing hormone triggers ovulation. The release of secondary oocyte by the ovary. LH stimulate formation of the corpus luteum in the ovary and secretion of progesterone by the corpus luteum. In males, LH stimulate cells in the testes to secrete testosterone hormone. Next is melanocyte stimulating hormone. It increases the skin pigmentation and produces darkening of the skin. It acts on the cells in skin and stimulates the production of melanin. Melanin is the pigment which is responsible for dark color of the skin. Next is thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland located in front of the neck, on the trachea just below the larynx. It is made up of two lobes. These are two lobes, right lobe and left lobe, which are connected to each other by isthmus. It has two poles, upper poles, and two lower poles. The thyroid gland produces hormone that regulate the body's metabolic rate, controlling heart, muscles, digestive function, brain development, and bone maintenance. Its correct function depends upon good supply of iodine in the diet. The thyroid hormone are synthesized as a large precursor of thyroglobulin. The release of T3 and T4 into the blood is stimulated by TSH hormone from anterior pituitary. T3, that is triiodothyronine, and T4, that is thyroxine, affect mostly cells of the body by increasing the basal metabolic rate, heat production, regulating the metabolism of carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. T3 and T4 are essential for normal growth and development, especially of the skeleton and nervous system. Most other organs of the system are also influenced by these two thyroid hormones. Next is calcitonin. Calcitonin hormone is also secreted by thyroid gland. It acts on the bone cells and kidneys to reduce blood calcium level when they are raised in the blood. It promotes storage of calcium in the bones and inhibit reabsorption of calcium by renal tubules. Its effect opposes to that of the parathyroid hormone, the hormone which are secreted by parathyroid glands. Release of calcitonin is stimulated by an increase in blood calcium level. Parathyroid glands. These are four small parathyroid glands, two embedded in posterior surface of each lobe. So these in right lobe 2 and in left lobe 2. They are surrounded by connective tissue, capsule, and one superior and one inferior parathyroid gland are attached to the each lobe. Parathyroid glands produce parathyroid hormone, that is PTH, and it is also called as parathormone. Secretion is regulated by increase in calcium level. When they fall, the calcium level fall, the PTH hormone is increased. The main function of PTH is to increase the blood calcium level when it is low. This is achieved by indirectly increasing the amount of calcium absorption from the small intestine or reabsorption from the renal tubules by increasing the reabsorption. Thank you for watching this video. For watching the second part of endocrine system, you can visit my channel, My Student Support System, and for latest update, you can like Facebook page, My Student Support System. For making your notes, visit mynursingstudents.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.